results are in. I'm overheating. My temperature gauge is higher than it should be. Oh my god. Welcome back to another episode of Gibbo's Garage, where today we're going to be trying to get this MX5 through its MOT. But how did I come about this car? Well, about 5 years ago, just before COVID happened. Do you remember COVID?
Hey! Don't you ever say that again!
This car I bought on a whim for just under £2,000. It was standard when I bought it. It was absolutely fresh off the showroom. And let's face it, I've probably ruined it. We've decided that there's an awful lot of things that I wanted to do, wanted to learn how to do, and it's kind of the first car that I fell in love with modifying, playing and fixing cars. So, what do we have? Well, it's a 1.8 litre, 126 horsepower, naturally aspirated car. And yeah, 126 horsepower, it's not going to set the world alight, but it is rear wheel drive. It is very fun. And I just fit in it, just barely. I'm just going to demonstrate how I actually fit in this car when there is a bush, a tiny pathway, and a tiny car, how I get in it when I'm 6'5". You may laugh. And then we just squeeze in like this. There. And it's the perfect driving position. I mean, who doesn't want the steering wheel wedged in between their knees when they're turning corners? You could just hold it here with your legs, have a cup of tea. But yes, it's probably not the cleverest car to buy when you're my size, but I wanted one when I was little, and then I wasn't little anymore, so we stuck with it. But in all seriousness, I do love this car. Hardly anything standard anymore. First thing you probably notice is the seats. These are out of a Shelby Cobra, just purely for the fact that they take the exact same mounting points. So it's literally bolt out, bolt in. The also big change.
That you had.
Words. The other change you probably see here is the steering wheel should be sitting around about here, but it's not. It's pulled out because that makes it easier for me to drive, right? But no, this car, as I said earlier, it's only got 120 horsepower. It's only 1.8, but it was imported back in 2001 into Scotland, the land of rust.
Disgusting!
Once it came down from Scotland, it was brought all the way down to sunny Essex, and I bought it, as I said, 5 years ago, but it was made in 1993 in Japan, and it was imported in. So it enjoyed a brief glimmer of sun and fun on the Japanese roads, and now it's in the rainy UK. But I love it nonetheless, and today is MOT day. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you some of the mods I've done, some of the changes we've done, which kind of came as a necessity to owning the car rather than something I wanted to do, but we'll get into that. Then I'm going to run through some bits that we need to pass the car for an MOT, and then, hopefully, fingers crossed, clean bill of health. Now, for those of you who don't know what an MOT is if you're overseas, that is our annual test where our cars have to go to pass a test to prove that they are roadworthy for one more year. And it's also a very good excuse for garages to get some extra money out of you if they find the tiniest thing wrong with your car. So there's always nerves, and I hope you can agree that when your car goes in for an MOT test, you do feel like it's a test on you rather than a test on the car. And it's waiting for that phone call in the afternoon from somebody from the garage going, it's going to cost you some money. But anyway, let's have some fingers crossed and some prayer that the car will pass. But first of all, we're going to do some checks to kind of see what we can do before we take it to the garage to make sure that they're not going to find anything that's going to cost us money eventually. Now, one of the first things I did was probably one of the biggest changes actually, and it was a full fiberglass overwing kit, front and back. But there's a reason why I did this. It wasn't just because it looks cool and it makes the arches wider. Rust.
I knew it!
Now, the very first week of owning this, we got it up on jack stands, looked underneath, and with my thumb, I could put it right up into the sills, pretty much the full length of the car. All around the arches, all around the wings, and it was a pretty grim day. So what we did is we cut out all of the arches underneath in a nice, massive, great big circle like that. And we welded them, and we put seam sealer over them, and they looked awful. So the only way to cover them up was to get some lovely fiberglass bits to bolt on. Now they are roof nutted on, so at any point I need to, I can just whiz them straight off again, do any preparation work underneath, bit of rust proofing, bolt them straight back on again. So that was the first thing we needed to do. As you know, once you start, you can't stop. And a full body kit came in. That's front and rear bumper initially, although I did take it off because I had to make some changes to the rear, which you'll see in a moment. But yeah, that kind of completed the look. As well as, you can probably see the bonnet, which I'll lift and show you now. Obviously, that's not standard either. And that was a really clever idea because I thought, what would look really good? A couple of big holes in the bonnet, but then rain. And with rain, meant the bonnet used to fill up with water. So we actually had to close off those holes. So they're just for looks. And lastly, we have this monstrosity, which is a chassis mounted wing. And it is from a really, really top end car manufacturer called, I believe it's pronounced Timour or Timu. Yeah, Timu. So it's got a fair bit of flex, and I don't actually think it's doing anything, but I think it looks quite cool. Now underneath the engine bay, we haven't gone turbo, we haven't gone ITBs or supercharged yet.
You suck!
Which is kind of the end goal. But for now, just some small tweaks just to make it a little bit more of a aesthetic place to be and add a little bit more noise as well. Inside the engine bay, you probably noticed one of the few non-rusty bits of metal here. We do have a 421 manifold in. We've also cut the cam cover as well, just to show these really pretty semi-rusty cams. Oh, they look fantastic. But it's really, really good because now I can see all my timing belts up, well, up to no good. Other than that, it's pretty standard. Like I say, this isn't here to make power. This isn't here to go racing. This is predominantly for a bit of fun, bit of a weekend toy, just some light skidding.
Just a quick list then to all the things that we should be checking before we go to the MOT station. So first of all, your lights, that's your headlights, all your indicators, your brake lights, reverse lights, hazards, fogs. Takes 2 seconds just to flick them on and check to make sure they're working. Then it's your tyres, check the tread depth, make sure there's no bulges, no lumps, cracks, anything that's going to make it that it's failable. Then your brakes, your fluids, make sure your wipers, you've got screen wash all topped up, give your horn a toot, check your seatbelts, mirrors, steering, and exhaust, which, yes, exhaust. I find this tends to help make sure it's passable, and if they find it, then great, always helps. And then underneath is, well, a little bit of brown here, but it's all surface corrosion and it should be fine. It's always best to check your levels before you go to the MOT station because you don't want them finding that they're low and then having to top them up and charging you money. And checking it's pretty quick and easy. Make sure you're parked on a level ground and that the engine is nice and cool. Pop the hood and pull out the dipstick. Make sure you do wipe it clean and check. You can see here the level should be just in between the min and the max level. If it's low, then just top it up with the correct oil. Checking again to avoid any overfilling. And this should be something you're doing anyway. Regular checks, just make sure that you're never starving your engine of oil.
Now, as far as I can see, everything looks okay. All my lights work. There's no warnings on the dashboard. My tyres are good. I've had no mechanical problems in the last few weeks. Nothing should stick out. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to go there and should be okay. I mean, there's some things that we probably could test, like, you know, I could jack it up and we can give the wheels a wobble just to make sure that our tie rod ends are okay and our bearings are okay. They're the kind of things where they'll get it up on a ramp and they'll be able to see pretty immediately if there is a problem. Things like the handbrake. I mean, when I can quick test the handbrake. Yeah. Right, that works. So the handbrake works. Good. Now, plan is in about an hour, we're off to the MOT garage. We're going to hopefully get an A-OK on a piece of paper. And then that's going to give me another year's worth of enjoyment out of this car. We have just pulled out of the MOT yard and I parked up because they want me filming in there. Fine. The results are in. What do you reckon? Comment below how many advisories, how many major defects you think we have. It's a pass! Yes! 1 year of stress-free driving coming. But what did we have in advisories? What do we think? All my hidden banknotes clearly paid off. We have one. Just one. And that is, if you can read it, underbody corrosion. Of course it is. It's an MX5. They're all brown underneath. So look, fantastic news. Why do we get so stressed about it? Yeah, so that is good news. Clearly all the checks we did, I mean, if something would have come up beforehand, a bulb, something minor, we could have just changed it before we get in there. Otherwise, they would have obviously charged us money for it. So that is good news. So we are going to drive home now. We're going to do some shots to this, hopefully some pullaways, so you can hear how obnoxiously loud it is. And happy days. I'm overheating. My temperature gauge is higher than it should be. We haven't touched coolant. I haven't touched anything, and I'm creeping higher. And it hasn't done this to me before. So letting some cars go now. And I don't know why it's creeping. And it's still going, oh no! I'm on the way back from the MOT garage! I've got 3 miles till I get home. 3 miles. And it's still going up. Oh, I'm gonna have to bin it. I'm gonna have to ditch it. Right, I've just pulled over. My temperature gauge is going off the. Hang on. Right, my temperature gauge has flown up, and there's a massive puddle behind me where I've just pulled into this lay-by down a country lane. Oh, you can't write this. Right, let's go and see what it is. Take. Right. Let's go and see what it is. Oh, please. This is not what I needed. Oh, oh my God. Oh, come on, where is it? Oh, everything is soaked. Oh my God. This is just, I'm about 2 miles from home. Okay, if I just do that, it'll all be better. Oh, that's not good. Thanks for stopping and helping. Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Oh no. No. Look at the trail of destruction. Oh my God. Yeah, thanks for stopping. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, right. This is supposed to be an easy video about passing an MOT. Oh, right. Okay. Sit rep. I'm at the side of a road with no internet signal. I have my phone. I have a car that is overheating and has no coolant left, and I haven't got any spare coolant. I don't know what to do.
Good luck.
Do I just walk and knock on someone's house? Oh, decision made. I'm walking till I have signal. Bye bye. Thank you, friends. Thank you. There is nothing. Oh, there's a house. There's a house. They must have signal. Right. Off we go. Oh, God, what has today just done this to me? We are getting picked up. We're getting picked up on the back of a lorry because I just can't do this another 2 miles. If you drive it like that and it overheats, you're just going to do yourself more mischief. So we're going to get recovered. We're going to get home and we're going to see it's water. I'll give it a little. It's coolant because it tastes absolutely disgusting. So I can't look underneath it because it's too low and I don't have a jack. But everywhere I've looked inside, all the pipes look okay. Nothing's disconnected. But I'm not going to take the cap off because it's going to go poof, and steam's going to erupt in my face. So yeah, this is not how it was supposed to go. Right, we'll see you soon. I think you can see we have some major drippage. And that's with the engine being off for quite some time. And I've looked underneath and we have a golf ball size crack, well, blowout of the radiator. And that water is piping hot. Oh no. We made it back. And as you can see, the sun has set and it did take quite a while to get back. But we made it in one piece and so did the car as well, even though it's been raining. So we do have a rather large hole in the radiator, which means that we're going to need to fit a new one and we're going to upgrade it while we're here. We're going to get a nice alloy one too. So probably not how I thought this video was going to end. But the next one, we're going to have to fix it. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.